Hello, I'm Gabe Heller, and I'm in the Queen's bathroom. Well, I don't know that this is actually the Queen's bathroom, but it is a bathroom that I think was installed in this office building where I work for the purposes of housing very important guests. Male very important guests in this case, so maybe it's the King's bathroom. But you know, people, you would be horribly, horribly embarrassed if they happened to, fall over in your bathroom and there weren't like 18 different emergency pull strings that they could potentially use and handlebars for everybody. Yeah, so a very safe place, which is good, because I'm about to do something potentially dangerous. Now, you should not do this at home. I'm not doing it at home. You shouldn't do this at all, because I want to be the only one who does this. This is a crate of dry ice. I'm going to open it. Nice, that's right, scissors. Now, you may have seen, various products, SodaStream, for instance, as one example. Other products are available. They allow you to carbonate things, but they cost a lot, and so do the carbon dioxide canisters. But dry ice is relatively cheap, at least where I come from in the United States. It's a couple dollars a pound. This was a little bit more here in England, where I'm at the moment. This was 27 pounds for 2.5 kilos, which is about 5 pounds. It was when I left bathing soap with it earlier today. Now, it has melted, or sublimated since then, so I assume it weighs a little less, but still some in there, so that should work. And there it is. As you can see, it is all steamy. Now, it's perfectly possible, although potentially dangerous, to carbonate things with just dry ice. And I'm going to show you that in a moment. So first we have a liter of orange juice. Now, the urinal just flushed on its own. Anyway, first I have a liter of orange juice. Now this bottle was not intended to hold pressure. So I've gotten a bottle of something that used to have something carbonated in it, and I'm going to use this. So first we have to transfer it, very carefully. Alrighty, now that I've done that, it's time to put some dry ice in here. How much dry ice do we want? Of course, I should be very careful, everyone should be very careful when handling dry ice. So I've got some mittens here. Dry ice is dangerous, but not that dangerous. Mittens are usually sufficient. In my case, you obviously, I don't know, should wear one of those sumo wrestling suits to protect yourself. I don't know how careful I need to be in terms of what I advise people to do. So this dry ice, rather conveniently for me, comes in these nice, small little pellets. So I'm going to put this pellet inside the cap. And then I'm going to put that, it's a little smaller than I thought it was going to be. Let's try this pellet instead. Fits in the cap, stays in the cap a little better. And very carefully, we put it in there and we screw the lid on tight very quickly. Okay, now at this point you would run away, but I'm not going to run away. I'm going to shake it. You might think that this was a horrible, scary, bad thing to do, but as it turns out, this is what allows the carbonation to actually get mixed into the orange juice. If I were to not do this and just let it sit there, there is a chance that it would explode. But there's not much of a chance that it would explode in this case. I am feeling it here, just to be certain there's not too much pressure. As long as I can squeeze it, it's alright. If at some point I can't squeeze it, then I should let off a little pressure. Like so. You, of course, should run screaming, but I'm not going to. I don't know if you can hear this little noise. As long as it's making that little noise. As long as it's making that little noise, then you know that there's still some dry ice in there. If this were a clear beverage, it would be a lot easier to tell. You could actually see it bubbling, but I think we're still fine. This can take up to a minute. So it is, a little more labor intensive than a SodaStream, but a lot cheaper. Still making just a little bit of noise. I should probably close this dry ice. I will be using more of it later. Not nearly all of it. I'm sure most of it will end up getting wasted. Yeah. As much as they charge for it, I think they should give it away for free, given what it does to the atmosphere. Here, take this CO2. Let it not be our responsibility anymore. For free. Wouldn't that be great? Still going. Maybe I should let off a little more pressure. There we go. I think we're done. And I just see any new streams of bubbles. There's a small amount of rising bubbles that one can see here, but no one big stream. So I think we're done. And we now have carbonated orange juice. But why would you want a carbonated orange juice? I mean, that's kind of fun, but what am I really after here? Well, the thing is, I'm trying to break into the Yogscast. And Duncan of the Yogscast recently said that he was curious what carbonated whiskey would taste like.
I saw a video on YouTube where someone made fizzy whiskey.
Oh yeah, you were telling us last time, and then it goes down so easy.
I know, I want to try it.
So we're going to carbonate some whiskey. Try and give it to him. Whiskey comes in much more expensive bottles, so we're going to try first with this bottle of water. It's non-potable water. I'm not going to be drinking this afterwards. I have another bottle this same size. This is a 350 milliliter bottle, 375 actually, and the whiskey came in a 350, so that works out pretty well. But just to test, I've never done it in a bottle this small before, so I don't really have a good idea of the proportions or what I'm going to be dealing with. So start with water. Looking for the smallest piece that I can find. Which of course immediately falls to the bottom, where I can't see it at all. Alrighty, here we have a piece of CO2 this size. Where's the camera? There it is. That's the size. Okay. And here we go. Now you can really see what's going on there. It's generating bubbles, but generating bubbles doesn't do much. When I first tried this, I just did that and ran away. And it didn't explode because I put such a small amount in, but it also didn't get carbonated because I wasn't shaking it. So yeah, every once in a while I check, make sure I can still squeeze the bottle with a firm hand. As long as that's the case, I'm not too worried about it exploding. Maybe I should be. You certainly should be, but I'm not. The reason this is not potable water is because the water in the Queen's bathroom is not potable. Or perhaps, you'd be horribly embarrassed if the Queen drank your water and died, so obviously you don't want her to think that it's potable. Maybe I should let out a little pressure. Yep, that's fine. That was not very much pressure. I think we're probably fine here. I'm doing my best to keep this in frame at all times, but this camera is much more zoomed in than the camera I'm used to using. I'm trying out my new Canon camera for this video, so that's why it's so tight a shot. It's all gone. Well, cool. Got quite a bit of pressure here. And now we should have carbonated water. Not very carbonated water. So perhaps I underestimated a little bit how much I would need. I think I'll use a little bit more of that vat with the whiskey, just to be sure that it gets carbonated. So here we have a bottle of Glenmorangie, the original Highland single malt Scotch whiskey, aged 10 years. It's on sale at Asda, which is kind of the Walmart of the UK. There it is. I saved this box because I'm going to give it to Duncan as well, just to prove that I actually bought good whiskey. I should remove the label from this bottle, I haven't done that yet. Looks like there's just a little bit something still in this bottle. Okay, good. I think it was just water. Potable water, mind you. Ah, yes. Okay, so then we open this. I don't drink, I've never opened one of these before. That sounds like what it sounds like when my wife opens them. I think I did it correctly. My hands are shaking. They weren't shaking when I was dealing with the orange juice. It's not the 15 pounds that I'm worried about. It's the having to go back to the store and get another one at such a late time. I hope to give this to him tomorrow, so yeah, that's not a lot of time. Alrighty. One bottle. Pressurizable bottle. This here, you see, had a cork in it. Cork would have just popped off if I tried to use it. Put the lid on while I get my gloves back on. Okay, so I'm going to choose a slightly bigger one. Also, you can see there's a little more air in here because this is a. See, there's a little more air in here because this is a 375 milliliter bottle with 350 milliliters of fluid in it, and that gives us a little more breathing room. Smells very nice. Smells very vanilla-y. Okay, this is the part where we have to not screw up. I almost screwed up, but got the lid on in time. Alrighty, start shaking this whiskey. Now whiskey is partially alcohol, obviously, so there's a possibility that this will be different. The alcohol is dissolved in the water, or maybe the water is dissolved in the alcohol. Probably the alcohol is dissolved in the water, which may mean that it can't handle quite as much CO2. Yeah, I think I already need to let a little steam off here. There we go. Okay. Like I said, it is a little labor intensive. Oh, need to let a little more pressure off here. Okay, there we go. I think this is going to be sufficiently carbonated. In fact, it already needs some more pressure let out. Wow. Okay. Good? Yes, we're good. I can still squeeze it again. A little worried about this one. I shouldn't have used that much more. But there's always a safety valve. As long as you remember to use it. Except, of course, you shouldn't do this at all. I should be the only one who ever does this. I'm not sure I should even be doing it. Okay, still letting off a little bit of stuff there, but I think we're okay for pressure. Now, obviously, I should not hand this to Duncan directly right after doing this. I should let it calm down, let it settle down, so that it doesn't immediately go off in his hand when he opens it, by which I mean just spurt all over. But yeah, I think we're in good shape here.
How Now Brown Couch has just said, has donated and says, Duncan, you said you were curious what carbonated whiskey would be like, so I carbonated some whiskey for you. Should I leave it by the door or wait for someone to come down and collect it?
Oh, I don't know if now's the time to be expecting food or drink presents from people, really.
I definitely didn't sneeze all over it.
Feels real
I
bad.
think I'll pass.